am Dr. Sriushi Shatra. So today I would be sharing my journey and strategy which I did to get a rank of 75 in NEET PG 2020 and some of the thing which I did and tips which I will like to share with you today. So first thing is the resources which I followed, right? So the basic component of any entrance exam is you need to have quite a comprehensive and concise notes. So for that I did the DAMS regular course. Their notes I found quite useful and comprehensive, so that was the major component. With it I added the test series. The class test and the grand test which they have in their app was quite really useful. GTs I used to give them in laptop because that's very useful to get the real pattern of exam. And the computer based test give you the real feel of exam, the anxiety which you will have in the main day, so that the real exam doesn't seem like real, it just seems like you are giving just a CBT, right? And then from Marrow I also have that on my phone. So from that I did storage disorders in biochemistry, stroke syndrome from the medicine, few topics from surgery, forensic medicine, anatomy, which I found a bit difficult to understand, so that I did from Marrow. One app which I regularly followed was the eMedicos app. I found that very useful, especially the videos segment in it of each subject, the supplementary videos which they used to have, the eMedicos MCQs, EQs which used to happen, which used to broadcast every Wednesday. So they give you kind of approach which you need to follow and new pattern questions, so that I found very useful. The image based question bank there in the app, previous year NEET paper question or AIMS pattern question was there, so that I did, and the app overall was quite useful. Then the DAMS visual treat or any image based discussion, I found that quite useful because in a period of 3 days they will give you high yield topics of every subject, and actually they make you revise the thing in the class itself. So if you have completed the syllabus before the DVT and revised it also well, so you will find that very useful. That will provide you a kind of a summary copy to look before every exam. So that was a very useful register or a copy for me before every exam, so I used to do that. So making good notes during DVT or any image based revision is very useful for the exam. Then the YouTube channel of DAMS Delhi, they used to upload every video before any main exam, like be it AIMS, the AIM strategy, NEET, the NEET strategy. So I used to follow that because that help you understand how the pattern of exam would be different from the other exams, and what things you need to do extra, or how you should schedule your time for the particular exam. So that I followed. So these were the basic resources which I followed and I shared. And now the basic strategy which I did for each subject was first to make notes in the class. Then after I make notes, study the notes, and then give one CT from the test series app. And once I give the CT, I used to analyze it and then go back to the notes and see the questions and the topics from where the CT was being formulated, because that helped me understood ki from that subject what are the high yield topics or the topics which are must know for me in the exam, and then I would just summarize them or highlight them in the notes ki these are the important topics and I will look them in future for further revision. So this I followed for every 19 subject, and giving a CT is way more efficient to revise than giving many more MCQs, because that CT I did from the app was, I found it was very well formulated and they will give you the gist of each subject, so that was more important. And apart from if you have time, you can also supplement with more and more MCQs, because solving MCQs is the key. They will give you an approach how to eliminate options and then decide which could be the answer. All you have to do is practice more and more MCQs, give CTs, and if you have time you can do the question bank of that subject. So this I did overall for the 19 subject. In the month of July I started giving grand tests, initially one grand test per month, and then from the month of October 2 grand tests till December first week, the last GT. Then one CBT I gave in October mid, and then one in the December first week. So GTs and CBTs, giving them regularly is very important, because you will learn two things from them. One is the basic strategy and the time management. How will you approach from the exam, which part to attend first, which to later. and then the subjects which you are weak or subject which you need to focus on, you will get from it. And the second important thing is you need to analyze from the mistakes, right? You don't get disappointed from the score or rank, which I also used to do the same. But then I realized that instead of getting disappointed from the score rank, it's more important to see the mistakes which you did and do not repeat them in the main exam, because GT scores or CBT rank are never the final one, right? So you have really a good probability to improve over time, and the key is to continuous improvement, like the score, the rank, and learn from the things which you get wrong, right? And don't get too much saddened or disappointed from the score or rank. So this was the basic approach of mine, like notes, CTs, GTs and CBTs. And finally, the most important component of the strategy was revision. So for revision, I planned a time schedule and followed them approximately two. Like first revision I did from August end till October 15. So that was the time when I did revision of the subjects which I did before August 30, as well as some of the new subjects which are remaining to be studied. Like in a week of 6 to 7 days, 3 days were given for the new subject, and then 3 days for the subjects which I have done before. So that was the component of first revision. From October 15 till November 30 was the period of second revision, and I feel that second revision was very important, because during that time the good thing which I did was I was highlighting the topics and the high topics. Like if in a page of note I used to segregate things, like one thing just for understanding, so I won't highlight that. One thing I know that before, so that is not important because I will get it right only. And the thing which I used to get frequently wrong, or the one liner which has a high chance of asking in the main exam, so that thing either I used to highlight or note it down in a separate copy. So this way the second revision was very preciseful and comprehensive, and they used to give me the cream, like from the notes which I did revise only in the final revision. And finally the final revision, like from November 30 to first week of January, so that time I revised only the high topics, the DVT notes, previous question papers, and the topics which I highlighted in the previous revision, like the first revision, right? And at that time the revision was quite planned, very time based, like the number of questions which the subject is going to come, divided by the total number of question, like 300, and multiplied by the days I have. Like during the last period 30 days, suppose PDA has 10 questions from it, so like 10 questions divided by 30 multiplied by 30 days, so approximately I would get 1 day. So I used to schedule it like only 1 day for PDA. And then my own strength and weaknesses used to determine, like suppose if I found medicine a bit tough, so I would have increased the number of hours to it. And if I find like derma psyche easy, then only half a day or few hours for it. So in this way I planned the final revision, and finally all this added, I guess, to the rank 75 in the NEET PG. And meanwhile you will also have an exam of AIIMS in the mid of in the first 2 week of November in between. So for that what I did was I allotted the revision of first second year subject to that period mostly, because AIIMS has a predisposition to ask those subject questions more frequently, and added few previous year papers of AIIMS to it, and then 1 or 2 AIIMS mock pattern exam. And so I did for that. And always don't skip these exams like AIIMS or PGI Chandigarh. AIIMS especially, don't skip it, because they will give you the real kind of picture in the exam which you need, because any GT or CBT cannot actually simulate the pattern or the anxiety which you will have by giving a real test. So even if you don't score well, it would be kind of practice test, so it's important to give that. And finally I feel the most important component of the journey was the support from my family, from my friends, my parents, and the kind of support they showed, love from juniors, guidance from my seniors, my well wishers, their wishes. So I feel they also add on to the thing, like the group discussion which we used to have, and the tips which I get from my seniors, and so that all help. And so all the best to all the upcoming aspirants for further NEET exam, and thank you Daksh for giving me the opportunity to share my journey. Thank you.